Hey guys, I wanted to hop on here real shortly and talk to you about my negotiating secrets, share some of these things with you. These are some of the secrets that Miss Kerry and I use when we're negotiating deals. If you saw a few of my past videos where I talked about a deal that I was working on, and I said I was going to shoot this video describing how I negotiated with the seller, how I acquired the home. So I just want to shoot this real quick and give you some tips, things that I want you to look for when you're negotiating with these sellers. So first, let's talk about the lead. Let's see where the lead comes from. This is what I want to touch on real briefly. I got this lead. This was an internet lead, guys. Internet lead. So got this from our website. You can get leads, bandit signs, Craigslist, all these different things. I'll teach you how to do these things. But this one came in from the website, filled out a form, reached out to us. The great thing about the internet leads is that they're motivated, because a motivated seller, if someone is really motivated, they're going to take the time to fill out a form and do what they have to do to get you to reach back out to them. So that's why I love the internet leads, and not myself or us as buyers reaching out to them, because they're not as motivated when you're reaching out to them. So that's something to consider. So they filled out a form, gave us all the details about the home. I think it was a 1999 or 96. They said they wanted, I think it was $5,500. They were negotiable. So that's the second thing that I want you to consider when dealing with these sellers. What type of seller are you dealing with? What's their motivation? What is their motivation? Now, I dive deeper into this in the book, but I'll just give a brief description. It's three things I look for. There's three types of sellers that you're dealing with. You're dealing with either cold seller, warm seller, or a hot seller. So guys, a cold seller, this is someone, they're just shopping around. They just want to see what you'll offer for their home. They're not really in a rush to sell the home. If you offer them what they want, hey, they're happy. There's no loss. There's no sweat off their back. A lot of these people, these are the people that they want full retail price for their home. So a lot of these people, I just refer them to a real estate agent. These people want $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 for their homes. I mean, as investors, we can't help these people, because guys, it's mobile homes. At the end of the day, they're just like vehicles. Their value goes down. I don't care if you paid $120,000 for it. Without any land attached to it. This is just like a vehicle. It loses value. So I really can't do anything for you if you paid over $100,000, $80,000 for a mobile home. So the cold sellers, you're not going to get many deals from them. A warm seller, now this is someone who's thinking about selling. They may have hired their home out for a while, or they're just putting it on the market, and they're somewhat flexible and they're negotiable, but they're in the upper echelons of the price range. A lot of times they'll be outside of the price range that you're looking for. Sometimes these sellers, you can wholesale the deals if you know someone who wants to pay in that upper price range for a mobile home. So you may luck up and get some deals from a warm seller. That's their motivation. Hot sellers, this is where I like to get a lot of my deals from. And at this stage in our investing career, we like to deal with these people, hot sellers, because we at a stage where we can pick and choose who we want to deal with. If you're a new investor, you may have to kind of interact with the cold and warm sellers to get your feet wet, and to just get the process of negotiating, seeing what the market is, what's going on in the market. So you may have to deal with the cold and warm seller. But hot sellers, these people, they know what they want. They want the home gone quickly. They're frustrated with the home. They just want it gone. It's a hassle to them. It has become a hassle, and they are looking for you to solve their problem. They want you to come either take the mobile home off their hands. They want you to come move it. I mean, they just want it gone. Give them a fair price. Give them $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $6,000, $7,000, and they're happy. And a lot of these sellers too, I talk about this all the time. They don't know what these homes are worth, so it becomes a hassle to them. They don't want to deal with it. Hey, investor, come take it off my hands. Let's make something happen. And these are the people that we like to deal with. So this seller on this deal, they've had the mobile home for sale. A relative was living in the home. They moved out, left them holding the bag. That's a lot of times that's what you'll deal with, especially with hot sellers. They didn't live in the home, so again, there's no attachment to the home to them. It's a burden to them. They don't want any part of it. So this seller, a relative was living in the home. They moved out, all types of furniture in it. You saw it in the video, things they left behind, and they were like, you know what? We don't want to deal with this anymore. Just please come get the home. And the thing about it is that they called other investors. So that's why I say you have to make yourself different. You have to stand out. Other investors went and looked at it, and guess what, guys? They offered them $2,000 for the home. Now this, y'all saw the home. Really nice home, make a great rental property. They offered $2,000. So that investor wanted to be greedy. Guys, don't be greedy when dealing with these homes. I used to hear this from one of my mentors. He said, pigs get fed and hogs get slaughtered. Don't be a hog. As an investor, you can't be a hog. You have to pick and choose your battles. This, even if I got the home for $5,000, that's what the price that they originally wanted, $5,000, $5,500. Even if I got it for that price, I knew that I can still, at minimum, double my money. If worse comes to worse, I had to flip it. But I got the home for $3,000, guys. $1,000 more than what the other investor offered them. So don't you think that investor, if he played it smart, if he thought about it, would you walk away from a great deal for $1,000? I want you guys to think about that. $1,000 and I got a great deal. So I got the home. So this is how it happened. Reached out to them. They reached out to us. I asked if they had the title. They was like, no, we have to get it in our name. We transferred it to our family member and they just abandoned it. So we still have it. So we're going to go through the state and get us a new title. So, and guys, I hopped on the phone one time with this seller. Everything else was through pretty much text messages. And on first it was email because we were emailing back and forth. Then I gave them a call to find out all the details. And when they told me they didn't have the title, I said, great, you guys are going through a process of getting the title. Just keep me updated. And each week, so this title process took about a month for them to get it. That's why it took me a while to acquire the home. But each week, every 2 weeks, I'll reach out to them. Hey, did you guys have an update on the title? No, we're still working on it. And in between that time, also, I had an opportunity to go out and look at the home. So it was showing the seller that I was serious. I actually went and looked at it and said, hey, I'm interested in the home. Let me know when you guys get the title. And we hadn't negotiated on a price yet. For what I understand is that they wanted the $5,000. So fast forward, they got the title. They reached out. I'm like, okay, great. Let's, I said, can you guys tell me what you want for it? Because before he had told me that another investor, when in our first negotiations, I asked him if they had an idea of what they wanted for it. He was like, I really don't know. I know it was $5,000. And another negotiating tip, guys, let the sellers talk. Let them sellers talk. That way you get all types of information that you would never know, guys. So I let him talk. And he said that this is when he revealed that someone else offered him $2,000. He's like, I'm not taking $2,000 for it. So bam, I knew that if I come anywhere in between $2,000 and $5,000, I got the deal. So we hadn't discussed the price, finally got the title. And when he got it, I gave him a call. I said, okay, you guys got the title? Great. We talked about the weather, just talking about family issues, relating. That's something that you want to do. You want to be relatable. Talk about things that you have in common, things that are going on in your area. We talked about the weather. Then I said, hey, did you guys discuss a price that you want for the home? He's like, well, he kind of got stern this time. He was like, well, we want the $5,000. So I'm like, okay, well, you told me you was negotiable, but I didn't say that. I said, well, you know what? You guys want $5,000, fine. Now you have the title. Now you feel like you're you're in a better position than when you didn't have the title. So I said, okay, fine. Mr. Seller, I'll talk with my partner about it. Then I'll get back to you soon. And what you want to do, guys, is you don't want to show that you're desperate. That's why I waited like 24, 48 hours before I reached back out to them. Sometimes you have to move fast. Sometimes you have to let them sweat a little bit. And I knew where the home was located. Guys, they were in the middle of the woods. That's something that you have to consider also. Where they're located. Is there a lot of competition? They were in the middle of the woods, guys. I knew that no one was really interested in the home. So I could wait this thing out a little bit. And remember, a month had elapsed before he reached back out to me, and nobody went out and looked at it. So I knew that they were not talking to anyone else. So I reached back out to him like the next day, or I think it was 2 days later. I said, hey, Mr. Seller, you know what? I talked with my partner about it. Would you guys take $3,000 for it? And I was willing to pay $3,500. And that's another negotiating tip. Always come lower than what you will pay for it. If you have $4,000, hey, offer the seller $3,000. Let's negotiate. They may come back with $3,500. Guess what? You saved an extra $500. That's in your pocket. So I came at the seller. I knew the most I would pay was $3,500. I said, hey, would you take $3,000? He said, yep. And I was even shocked. I'm like, wow, he took the $3,000. He's like, me and my wife were frustrated with the home. We just want it gone. I'm like, great. Let me start working on the process. So that's how I got it, guys. That was his motivation. And that's what I was talking about. One of the negotiating secrets, one of the negotiating tips that you need to talk about, I didn't write this down, that you need to consider is follow up. I followed up with the seller multiple times. As you heard, I said each week I reached out to him every 2 weeks. This was building the camaraderie, or what would you say? Rapport. Yes, you're building rapport with the seller, showing that, hey, I'm an honest guy. I can relate to you. I stick to my word. These are all things that it means a lot to a seller, because they've been dealing with shady people who say, you know what, I'll come look at it. They don't come look at it. Every time I gave them a date or a time of when I would do something, I did it. So that's an important thing to do. Every time I say I'll reach out to them, I did. And then I followed up with the offer. Always come with a lower offer than what you want to pay for, guys. What's the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen, guys, is that they'll tell you no. And you can always come back and say, hey, I thought about it. I went back and talked to my partner again. Would you guys take $3,500? So it's a give and take process, guys. Very, very important. So that's how that deal came about. And we finally got the deal for $500 less than what we would have paid for it. But consider your leads, whether they're coming off of the internet, the bandit signs, all these different things. And again, I tell you how to set up these things, how to do these things inside the book, Mobile Home Investing Secrets. Check that out if you haven't yet. What's their motivation? Is it a cold seller? Is it a warm seller? Is it a hot seller? These are things you must determine when you're talking to these sellers. And a lot of times you can tell their motivation by what they put in the form, or when they call you and leaving instructions. So that's why one of my tips, also one of my secrets from doing this for over nearly 2 decades, is that I know that a seller, I said this in the beginning, if a seller follows your instructions and follows through on your instructions, they are motivated. A lot of times you'll get people who call, and if you'll say, okay, tell me the price, you'll have a voicemail that says, tell me the price, address of your home, and things like that. Guess what? They'll hang up because they're impatient. They don't want to deal with it. Sometimes a lot of people feel like they just want to talk to someone. You may get deals like that, and we may be even missing out on a lot of deals. But I want to deal with sellers who want to deal with us, who want to work with us. And if you follow my instructions, that shows me that you're motivated and we can work together. So that's something that, by giving them instructions to do, it tests their motivation. And thirdly, always follow up with your sellers, guys, especially if you have someone that's motivated. Continue with the follow-up, because you're building rapport. You're showing that you're a serious investor. You're saying that you will do what you say you will do. And that's important, and that will land you more deals. So that was my secrets to negotiating, guys. That's our secrets. If you want to learn more, we cover all of this in deep detail. In fact, we have a master class on negotiating where we break down deals that we've done, me and Miss Kerry, where we talk about all these deals, what can help you get more deals, what can help you turn okay deals into great deals. So all those links are in the description. You can check those things out, and I hope this helps you, and I will talk to you in the next video. Thank you.